Welcome to the Intercut podcast channel, the weekly place to get the latest on the movies, TV, and entertainment that people can't cut away from. I am your co-host, Zachary Shevich, and joining me, climbing up the IMDb star meter, it's Arturo Zurita.
We ride it like a wave, it fluctuates. Go back up, go back down.
Exactly. Sometimes it goes back down, and then you're going to find yourself back up a few months later. You never know. Also with us, sorting her list by the number of times each actor has portrayed a lesbian, it's Amanda the Jedi. How's it going, Amanda?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about our favorite actors. I can feel the power of this week's episode coursing through me because we are revealing our power rankings of Hollywood's most powerful personas. That's a bit of a tongue twister. 2025 actor power rankings here. Arturo and I did a similar thing on the channel 2 months ago where we unveiled our director power rankings, and we're going to try it again here with our favorite on-screen stars. The concept is simple. If you're told about an upcoming film and all the information you have is that it stars a specific actor, which actor is the most likely to get you to see that movie? I found this to be even more challenging than assembling the director power rankings for a couple of reasons. There are probably more great actors than there are great filmmakers, so it's harder to cull the lists. And actors also have a bit less control over their projects than filmmakers do, so you might be making good career decisions in theory, and they don't ultimately pan out. Amanda, you didn't get to join us for our director's list, so I'm curious how you approached picking your top 10 for our actors list.
Vibes?
I
don't know. I kind of looked at a list and thought of things, and then I kind of think back to my film festivals and like even con that I'm not attending. I'm like, what were the movies that I instantly honed in on because of who was in them? And then who would I have stuck around for even if the description looked bad?
Yeah, it's funny, you can do a lot of research and look at every single film this actor's been in to try and make like a calculated decision, but sometimes that's not going to be as powerful as just your immediate gut reaction to seeing them on screen or reading their name. For me, I'm definitely trying to balance an actor's track record and how good they've been in past projects with a focus on what they're doing lately, because if I haven't been compelled to see like 2 out of your last 3 movies, then I don't think I could put you super high on this list. Are there any rules that you think we should implement going into this list? Because I don't know if you're thinking about certain actors like Daniel Day-Lewis or Jack Nicholson that are effectively retired.
Those are pretty big, bro. Imagine if they had a movie yesterday. Where would you be?
I would see it for sure, but I don't know if we're going to get it.
I think if they motivate you to have them, sure. But in terms of rules, like you said, there's different things when it comes to directing. There's different things when it comes to acting. You have your slumps. And some of these actors have not worked as frequently as other people. I also do think it's a matter of, like Amanda was saying, who is it that intrigues you when you're looking up a list at a festival? And for me, I try to pick everybody in my top 10 are people who I'm not just interested in. I might give them one slip or something like that. If they can't get you out to the theater, they are not on my list. So be it a festival, be it here, I went through it and I went, if you can't get me out of my house, then you cannot count it. This is a power ranking. This isn't the top 10 best actors.
Yeah.
If not, we'd have, the Streeps and some other names that we will have in the honorable mentions. We have a lot of up-and-coming stars as well, who I think are very intriguing with what they have cooking up. Some may even make our top 10. But I kind of went with some of the powerhouses that we have out there that can draw people in.
Yeah.
The Will Smiths of the world, if you may.
Not on the list.
Not on my list either. We should maybe call this the gas money list, the people you're willing to spend your hard-earned gas money to go out to the theater for. But yeah, it's certainly like a hard list to try and pick from because it's the cream of the cream of the crop. A lot of actors, and I'm sure a lot of people's favorites are not even going to get mentioned on this episode. We'll do our best to do a long list of runner-up contenders, honorable mentions at some point. And in a little bit, we will talk about our favorite actors right now. But first, make sure you're subscribed to the Intercut podcast, either the video podcast on youtube.com/intercutpod or the audio podcast available on most podcatchers. Also, follow Intercut across social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, whatever you use. We are at Intercut Pod. That's at Intercut POD, and POD is short for podcast. It was also a music group in like the early 2000s, but that's less relevant to us here. You can also support the show for as little as $3 a month here on YouTube by clicking the join button to become a member, or by going to patreon.com/intercutpod and signing up to join the Intercuties, where you get early access to episodes like this one, access to an exclusive chat channel on our Discord server, and an invitation to our monthly Intercutie video calls, where we hang out and talk about the latest movies, TV, and more. Also, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because if we get to 250 5-star reviews on Apple, Arturo will co-star with you in a biopic about one of history's forgotten great men. Who knows? You might get some Oscar buzz or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, Art, you want to kick us off with number 10 on your power rankings?
I think so. All right. I'm going with the perfect mixture of an up-and-comer who to many may have been cemented, to be honest with you. As y'all know, I'm a big lover of Harris Dickinson. My man's making the jump to directing. He's doing all those good things. I think he's taking great roles. But if it's a power ranking, I got to go Josh O'Connor. Josh O'Connor has been killing everything he's been doing. I'll give my boy the honorable mention, but when it comes to the new group of the internet white boys, Josh O'Connor, to me, I want to see him on screen. I love seeing him off screen. The way he interviews, the way he's passionate about the movies, he lights up a screen. Whether it's an independent movie, whether it's a big blockbuster, the stuff that he did with Challengers, the stuff that he did with La Quimera, everything that he's got coming up, he's got a slate already full. So you're already checkboxed out for the rest of this year and next year. I'm going to lock in with my number 10 pick, Josh O'Connor.
He's my honorable mention, or he's in my honorable mentions. You know, he's good. He's real good.
Definitely. Somebody who's still on the rise, but has already kind of proven themselves. I mean, La Quimera, to me, is one of the most stunning kind of, not necessarily debut, but for me, as somebody who wasn't familiar with him before, just really blows you away. And then, of course, Challengers is great. Remember the whole, like, rat boyfriend trend on the internet, where they were calling all these up-and-coming white boys rat boyfriends?
Yeah, he looks like,
I get it. I get it a little more with Josh O'Connor than most. He does look like a little bit like Ratatouille with a piece of cheese, right?
Thoroughly, but no, he's really good. There is a, if I'm not mistaken, he is co-starring in a movie with another actor, right? That's coming up very soon, where they play lovers or the like. Yeah.
Is that the History of Sound?
Yeah, History of Sound.
There we go. Yeah, I kind of combine all my boys together in one group, the way Zendaya would say. and look, I do prefer Harris Dickinson, but I know that may be more of a swing and a miss.
I actually don't.
I do, but Josh O'Connor, I think would have to make the cut in terms of like who's going to be the best sure bet if you're going out to a movie. So
nice.
I think it's going to grow.
All right, great pick, Josh O'Connor, number 10 on Art's list. Amanda, what you got?
I know we don't have much to go on in terms of the film world, but I am locked forever. Tim Robinson.
I'll take it.
You know,
absolutely.
I think he's proven himself with multiple seasons of I Think You Should Leave, and Friendship delivers on all fronts. I just know that if he's there, I'm going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awkward, but it's going to be great. So I am locked in with anything that Tim Robinson wants to give me.
Yeah, I mean, we are doing this as a snapshot in history, right? Like, these are the power rankings right now. And right now, if there's a movie that Tim Robinson's going to be in, I'm absolutely going to be there, especially after Friendship proved that he can translate the I Think You Should Leave aura to a big screen comedy. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a relative newcomer, but a great pick. Number 10. Just making my list, I'm going to go with a guy who has been in Hollywood for a little bit, but still feels like he's got a lot more to give. He's just as likely to show up in a small part as he is to occupy the lead role. but he's also just as capable of stealing the movie from either position. I've got Jason Schwartzman in my number 10 slot. In just the last 2 years, he starred in Asteroid City, did tremendous voice work in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, played a slimy game show contestant in Quiz Lady, was the showman host on the Hunger Games in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, had his own version of Harold and Maude in Between the Temples, hung out with his uncle on Megalopolis, his cousin on The Last Showgirl, and then he kikied with Daniel Craig in Queer. He's hilarious but capable of surprising dramatic depth, and he's able to sneakily imbue emotion into deadpan delivery. I just feel like he always elevates whatever scene he's in, and I'm happy to see him on screen no matter the role.
Hell yeah. No, he's a great pick.
Yeah, not necessarily the biggest star, and I feel like just about everybody else that shows up later in my list is a bigger star than him, but he is somebody who I just am delighted by whenever he
every
shows
time I'm
up.
like even in Megalopolis, I'm like, good for you.
Yeah. All right, Art, take it away. Number 9.
Florence Pugh.
She higher for me.
She's in multiple IMAX releases. We've seen her in 143. We've seen her in everything pretty much. And her most recent outing for Marvel, I think, is a flip not just on her character. Because to be honest, I wasn't that intrigued when they introduced her in Black Widow. They have really honed in on her being even better than she was in like what her appearances for the TV series.
And Hawkeye.
Yeah. If you don't have her acting to elevate a movie like Thunderbolts, I don't think you have a movie. And I can only imagine having everybody else, Steven Yeun, we were supposed to get Ayo. I love the movie. I can't imagine what it was going to be. But no, Florence Pugh, if she's in anything, be it at a festival, be it out in theaters, I'm there day one.
I totally agree. Quick question, though. Was Ayo supposed to be Geraldine's character?
Yeah, she said she
think
called
so.
her.
And honestly, I love Geraldine. Geraldine's on my honorable mention of like when I don't necessarily go out of my way for her, but it's usually because she's not in a lead position to go out of my way for. But like every time I see her, I'm delighted. So I think I would have been really funny, but I think Geraldine feels perfect for that role for whatever reason. So I think the casting settled well. But yeah, I totally agree on Florence Pugh. She is much higher on my list, but yeah.
We have the benefit of doing this after the release of Thunderbolts, which definitely is a nice reminder of Florence Pugh's stardom. And she really, does so much in a position that I feel like other stars have been given the opportunity and not carried the ball as well as she does in Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So your number 9 is Thunderbolts. Amanda, what do you have at number 9 on your list?
I think I'm going to go with Margaret Qualley. Again, she's just the last handful of movies she's been in, I've at least really enjoyed or loved. I think she's proven herself with enough of a track record, even in her TV work with Maid. I think she can do a lot of different types of roles. I think she's got that star power, and hopefully we just kind of see her grow more and more and more. She's locked in with at least one of the Coen brothers right now. She's still doing things like The Substance, and I'm a huge fan of Sanctuary that came out a few years ago now. So she had to make a spot on my list because she's one of those people. If I see she's in a movie, especially at a film festival, I'm locked in.
Mega charming star.
Yes.
Love that she's working with Ethan Coen on his silly comedies. You guys saw the thing going around that Hideo Kojima said he cast her in Death Stranding after seeing her dance in the Kenzo makeup ad that she did with Spike Jonze.
I did not know that.
It's just a reminder also of how versatile she is too, that she's a trained professional dancer on top of being this radiant actress.
That is true.
Does anybody have Joaquin Phoenix on their list?
No.
Honorable mention.
I got him at number 9 on mine. He is a transformational star who is eager to embrace the absurd and unconventional, and he's never come across an acting job that he's found too challenging. He's a man who courts dark characters and difficult roles, and filmmakers know who to call when they want to put their protagonist through hell. Just his recent run from stuff like Beau is Afraid, Come On, both Joker movies, Napoleon, You Were Never Really Here, Inherent Vice, Her, The Immigrant, The Master. He's just a enigmatic star who is delivering a lot on screen. I feel like at least the last few have been a little not as strong for me as that run he was on with like Paul Thomas Anderson stuff, which is why he's maybe not higher on my list. But he's an actor who, if I find out he's going to be in something, I'm really, really intrigued. He's got the new Ari Aster movie Eddington coming up soon, so I will definitely be seeing
we're going to hear about that
partially
one
for
soon.
him. Yeah.
Some early thoughts.
Yeah, by the time people see this episode, they'll have already seen the reactions from Cannes. So
there you go.
We are existing in a weird liminal space where we're still anticipating it. I got Joaquin Phoenix at 9. Art, what do you got at 8?
All right, at number 8, I'm assuming this man's going to be higher because he could do a Marvel movie, but we're locked in every time he does an independent feature. And he's both hands in. Sebastian Stan.
I had him as an honorable mention, but
really?
He's quickly running up.
He's very good.
Climbing up the rankings, yeah.
I got him on here. I think he is very intriguing when he picks his projects. I think he puts his all into it. Even talking about the Thunderbolts one, he's like the senior now in the MCU.
Yeah. It's just tired grandpa.
Right. Lore-wise, the man is 100 years old.
Exactly.
Real-wise, he
Literally and
looks like he's 100
figuratively.
years old sometimes on these red carpets. But no, I think he's always taking swings. And I think it's very rare to see someone in movies as big as he is playing a cannibal in some films. Playing... I was gonna say ex-presidents, presidents. This man will do anything. He is not afraid to go there with those characters. He's not afraid to kind of ruin publicity stuff, as was happening with the last press run. But then he'll do like I won't say movies that matter, right? But like he really put his all when he was doing A Different Man. Anytime someone didn't want his co-star there, he would talk smack about whoever it was.
Yeah.
And he's a ride or die. So Sebastian Stan, we're becoming really stans of him as well because there's not much that he could do wrong.
Absolutely. I feel like of all the Marvel stars, he's the one who's really done the most with the whole one for them, one for me. That 1-2 punch of The Apprentice and A Different Man last year is
You'll take an extra one, right?
Incredible. Yeah. Great pick. Sebastian Stan, definitely somebody who's climbing up my personal power rankings. Amanda, who do you have at number 8 on your list?
I'm gonna go Jennifer Lawrence. She's someone, even if she has some rough outings, she usually still ends up being a highlight in those movies. And I'm still so excited when I see her in projects. Like the movie she's in at Cannes was one of the late editions, and that was one of the ones that was like, why the fuck didn't I just take an opportunity to go to Cannes and say,
it again?
Dime My Love, the Lynn
Dime My
Ramsey
Love.
one?
Yeah, the one from
Who?
Lynn Ramsey. Lynn Ramsey is directing Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence.
That's what we need to. Because the last one was what, Causeway? Not even in
Causeway,
theaters.
yeah.
Causeway, yeah. And she's
she's
good
fine,
in it,
but
it's
it's
like,
fine, right? Yeah, exactly.
The script was not, or even it could have come down to editing. Like it just was like things just didn't come together good for her. But I love her. She is a highlight in a lot of different movies that I love. I think she's got a really wide range because she does the Katniss Everdeen like flat affect really well, and then she can pull it in for something like Silver Linings Playbook. And I say pull it in, but like let it out for Silver Linings Playbook. So she is someone that if I see her in a movie, I'm always like really excited to check it out, even if the premise doesn't look interesting. So hoping for really good things with this new Lynn Ramsey movie.
Let's go, J-Lo.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love that she tried to bring back the R-rated comedy in No Hard Feelings.
Yeah, No Hard Feelings, and she was good in that.
Talk about
So
trying to win over my heart.
Yeah, and it did well, yeah.
Yeah. Just it's definitely somebody who is appointment viewing. When there's a new Jennifer Lawrence movie, people are going to pay attention to it. It's a great pick. For number 8 on my list, I am going with Adam Driver.
Ooh, solid.
In the last 14 years, Adam Driver has made movies with Clint Eastwood, Steven Spielberg, the Coen brothers, Jeff Nichols, Jim Jarmusch, Martin Scorsese, Steven Soderbergh, Spike Lee, Terry Gilliam, Leo Carax, Michael Mann, Francis Ford Coppola, 2 Ridley Scott films, and 5 Noah Baumbach's films, as well as Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams, who had him as Kylo Ren in Star Wars. If basically every great filmmaker working looks at you and thinks you're a movie star, you're probably a movie star.
Hell yeah.
The 2-time Oscar nominee is brooding and built like a brick house, but he's vulnerable and prone to outbursts that really jolt you from your seat. To me, he's kind of our generation's Robert De Niro. He's a thespian that's kind of in the body of a tough guy. And I just find him like incredibly watchable on screen.
Great pick.
No, that's a fantastic pick.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got that star power. He's also one of those people my mom looks at and it's like, I don't know why, but I think he's handsome. I don't know what it is, because you're basically saying you think he should be ugly, but he's not for some reason. It's like the weirdest backhanded compliment.
Well, it's that weird sort of like he's got a face that works really well on screen. There's just something intriguing about it.
Absolutely.
But he's also like a kind of really intriguing personality too. I don't know. I really love him as an actor, and he's somebody who I think is a strong contender to win his first Oscar probably in the next few years, given the types of movies he chases.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to Arturo for number 7.
Oscar Isaac.
Ooh, solid.
He has limited it down, to be honest with you, but anytime he's in a movie, even if it's for, a tiny role, I would consider in Dune, to his really transformative stuff like in Inside Llewyn Davis. Just being able to command the screen. He's got some of our favorite indies like Most Violent Year, Runaway Hit with Ex Machina. I want to see him in more stuff. I feel like I can compare the two, but my boy Pedro kind of took a lot of thunder from him. He's been taking a lot of the bigger roles, and that's great for Pedro, but Oscars in a movie, and I go, yo, this is going to be something that I think is going to last a while. I want to know what theater I was when I saw it the first time, if it's an Oscar Isaac movie. And I do remember every time I've seen his movies. So I'm excited for him to come back. Recently, I feel like his biggest role has been Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Which is great, too.
It's great.
A good character. But, Moon Knight, I don't count. That's at home.
You're forgetting about The King of Kings, which he did voice work in.
Stop bringing this man. This man bringing up the King.
You're bringing him down. I think the difference is you mentioned Pedro, and I love him, but I feel like the difference is that Pedro just tends to pick roles that are high profile that I would probably see anyway. But I don't know if Pedro is necessarily in something. I'd probably still go see it, but it might not pull me out as much as being like, oh, Oscar Isaac's doing this. That's cool. Like, what's he picking?
Exactly.
And that's no shade to Pedro.
100%.
He just has a really good team working for him that it always, whether it's a big role or a small role, indie or Marvel, it's good. But it's interesting.
He's attached himself to those projects.
Yeah.
If we were doing best agents in the game.
Yeah, Pedro's agent.
Yeah.
Easily. Easily.
Snatch.
And maybe Oscar Isaac's got to give his agent a call, because I feel like it's been a little quiet for Oscar Isaac in the last couple of years, but he is Dr. Victor Frankenstein in, I think, Guillermo del Toro's upcoming Frankenstein movie. I want to say he was the lead in the new season of Beef as well.
He is.
So,
he's going to be, Oh, what, bro? Oscar Isaac, Kristen Stewart in the new Panos Cosmatos film. Flesh
there you
of
go.
the
That's
Gods.
another one.
In the new Tony Gilroy Behemoth.
Yeah.
I don't know what Stowaway is, but he's freaking Snake.
He's getting in there. He's getting
In
in there.
Metal Gear Solid, bro.
Yeah. No, he's a bona fide star, so it's only a matter of time, I think, before he starts making movies we can't miss again.
Yeah.
True. Poe never died, right? Poe's still alive.
Yeah, Poe Dameron.
Yeah, where's his spinoff?
And I was like, of that 3, he's managed to hold on, I'd say, the second best. Like, Daisy Ridley is always working, but never
to that
in a way that
degree,
people necessarily love.
But it's also like...
She's not bad. That's not that she's bad by any, but she got hurt. I think Star Wars hurt her, and I don't think it's affected.
It was too big. I see what you mean.
Yeah, Adam Driver
She's
is
not
much,
the same level of celebrity she once was.
Well, yeah, that's a big thing, too. Adam Driver coming in to play whatever character Backlash got there. I mean, my man Poe isn't he just really another Han Solo?
Yeah.
And he never really got pushback for that or anything, because it's Oscar freaking Isaac. So
yeah.
Scenes of a Marriage. I know it's TV, but I mean, it's not like he didn't put out a damn 5 out of 5 effort not too long ago. It was just at home, but I'm there when it's theatrical. I'm there when it's at home. Oscar Isaac, my number 7.
Very cool. Amanda, what do you have at 7 on your list?
I think I'm going to go with Emma Stone.
I've got her a bit higher on mine as well.
Yeah, she was originally higher on mine, but I'm just kind of thinking, I don't know why I moved her, but either way, she's a star. I can't really, even the movies that I don't love with her in, I at least respect and know that she did a good job in those movies. Like, I really was not huge on Poor Things, but then I did really like Kinds of Kindness. And I also think that she, even though this is the star power, I think she both has the star power and she puts the money into projects that are worth seeing too. So if you can do both of those things, if you can do the frontline stuff really regularly and do it well and be propping up people like Jane Schoenbrunn and a lot of other A24 projects, I got to give you the props there, because a lot of times people do one and then they kind of like step into the background, but like she champions what she cares about, and she still, is really focused on working with directors that she's passionate about, and when she could just focus solely on like more blockbuster, easy stuff. So it's nice.
Definitely. I don't know if this is just me putting this on her, but I feel like she heard the backlash from Aloha over a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then she won her Oscar for La La Land and started being very intentional with her film roles.
Yeah.
Since La La Land, she's basically only done 3 collaborations with Yorgos Lanthimos, Cruella, that Zombieland sequel, which is pretty forgettable, but also pretty forgivable.
Yeah.
Battle of the Sexes, which is like a B-level Oscar bait biopic. But it's been, like you said, a lot of really well-selected stuff. And she's doing really interesting stuff as a producer with Nathan Fielder or Julio Torres or Jesse Eisenberg. And she's also going to be in Ari Aster's Eddington later this year, as well as Yorgos Lanthimos' Begonia. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the track record isn't necessarily like as strong as some of the people in her class of celebrity, but I'm always intrigued by it. Yeah. So I've got her at number 2 on my list personally.
Nice. Yeah, she was up higher, but I'm just, I don't know. She's moving people around. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, you're selecting between a bunch of
That's
great
what I mean.
options here.
I'm leaving people off this list that should probably be here, but I'm just like, they get talked about enough, so we can. And then I say that, but Emma Stone's on the list, but like, you get it.
Yeah, we have the people we have soft spots for.
Yeah.
Number 7 on my list, I'm going Timothée Chalamet. Anybody else have them on their list?
He should be.
We should.
But
we should.
I kind of forgot about him, so he's in the honorable mention right now.
I mean, look,
the Knicks fan?
My boy is living it up right now, front row with Kylie Jenner. I hope that the Knicks run is still going by the time this episode is out, but I have my doubts. Anyway, the movie star of the moment. He is Leonardo DiCaprio for Gen Z. People attracted to men want to be with him, and everybody else just wants to be him. Knicks fan, rap nerd, ready to become the biggest movie star in the world. Here is the run. He goes from Greta Gerwig's Little Women in 2019 to Wes Anderson's French Dispatch in 2021. Then Dune Part 1 at Denis, Don't Look Up with Adam McKay, reuniting with Luca Guadagnino on Bones and All, The Prestige Twilight. After that, it's Paul King's Wonka, which I like, but Arturo doesn't. Dune Part 2, and A Complete Unknown, which I like, and neither Arturo or Armando does. But
no, I liked it. I had problems with it, but I liked it.
Fine. You know who does like it? The Screen Actors Guild, who awarded him with Best Actor.
They did.
That's because they don't like what's his name, bro.
They just really hate,
Brody.
like,
They just hate that other guy.
They saw that one speech and they were like. And then
Timmy's
the Oscars happened.
Timmy's already filmed his next movie. It's going to be Josh Safdie's Marty Supreme, which looks really exciting.
Yes.
And then he's set to start shooting Dune Messiah soon. So he's really taken the advice from Leonardo DiCaprio, no hard drugs and no superhero movies, and ran with it. And he just feels like one of the rare event movie stars of his generation.
Yeah. It's so interesting, though, because I feel like if I said his name to my parents, they would have no idea who he is, which I think is so funny. But
you think so? I'm curious.
I don't think
Try
they
it
would.
out.
I will, but I just don't think they've seen. I don't actually know if they've seen a single thing he's been in. So yeah, I don't think they'd know who he is, which I think is funny. I feel like that's an outlier situation, but I use them as a good litmus test for like.
Well, he is like very intentionally, seemingly trying to cover a lot of his bases, right? He's got the biopic Oscar bait playing a legendary musician. He's got the big action movie based on popular IP. He does, his indie dramas with auteurist filmmakers. So it feels like sooner or later, no matter what kind of movie fan you are, you're going to run into Timmy and you might like him.
I'm going to ask my mom right now, pending. We'll get an answer in a second here.
Yeah, we'll find out before the podcast wraps what Mom the Jedi thinks
she
of
sends
Timothée
you
Chalamet.
to Timmy. You mean this guy, Timmy Rabbit? What's his name?
Your mom turns out to be Club Chalamet.
That would be
bro.
hilarious.
Biggest plot twist.
Art, who you got at number 6 on your list?
At number 6, I have a pretty basic pick, but I don't care, bro. There's a reason why you had saved.
We're bringing out the props.
Ride like thunder.
Oh my God! Wait, mine too.
Wait.
If you ride like lightning, you're gonna crash like
Literally,
thunder.
also my number
Amazing.
6. Literally
Come on,
same
you
number.
have to.
You have
Shout
to.
out Canada.
To go off of Emma Stone, right?
Yes.
La La Land co-partner. I remember a lot of people used to give this man a lot of flack, saying that, she was the better one in the movie and she needs a better co-star.
No, she didn't need a better co-star, but there is a reason she won the Oscar. But still,
There is a reason.
He's great.
Exactly,
He's fantastic.
Exactly. He's what you need in the movie, and I think in due time, it's funny to see him be his goofy Ryan Gosling self in Barbie, in The Fall Guy, and then people retroactively add that to La La Land. So it was like, got it. You needed it to go more viral and big for them to be like, oh, that's cool. Because right after that, he had done Big Short around that time. I want to say Nice Guys was around the same time La La Land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
2016?
Yeah. And now that's finally, people are appreciating it more now.
You see what I mean? So he is definitely a person to invest in.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Everything that he works on, he's a star.
And he's Canadian. Like, there's nothing wrong with him.
He's got a beautiful family.
Beautiful family.
Love just the aura that he oozes off. Seeing him live at the Oscars was also really cool because a lot of people messed that up.
One of the best Oscars moments of the last decade, if we're being honest. And he has the movie star charm to pull it off that not everybody necessarily does.
And that's the bit, right? Like, he's the Notebook.
Yeah.
But then he's also like
Blade Runner.
Blue Valentine. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, crazy stuff.
He literally got fired off of Lovely Bones because he was like, this guy should look like a freak, so I'm going to gain a bunch of weight. And then he got there and was all like, too freak. And I was like, what do you mean, too freak? What do you mean?
There was a week where I couldn't eat
dedication.
Haagen-Dazs after that story where he said he was melting the ice cream and just like, what is wrong with you, man? I love you. I love you so much, Ryan Gosling. Now he's going to be Starfighter?
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't with Sean Levy, the Star Wars movie,
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's a pretty big look.
But we'll see.
The prequel to Ocean's 11 is very exciting.
That too.
Yeah,
It's
I think
officially a
he's,
prequel, right?
Yeah.
I would put
With
him
Margot
higher.
Robbie?
I kind of like
Margot
that.
Robbie.
I kind of like it.
I put him higher because he's been around longer and he's done more, but he kind of reminds me of Florence Pugh, somebody who can
Sure,
like really
yeah.
comfortably run around like indie roles that are really dark and then stuff that's a lot lighter. But then like really high profile stuff, and it doesn't ever hurt them. They just kind of keep circling through and doing what they're doing. And I can't really think of many Ryan Gosling misses.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially
and,
in the last few years, he's been, he's openly talked about taking more time away to spend time with his family, raising his young kids. So you only get a Ryan Gosling movie once every year or two at this point. And I do miss some of the weirdo indie roles he would take, and maybe he'll get back to that once his kids are a little more grown.
I think he will.
Like Lars?
But he's still providing you like
Lars.
big time entertainment, you know.
Absolutely. And it's like they're big titles, but they're also good. Like I know Fall Guy didn't do as well as I think anybody anticipated, but I thought it was great. Barbie, obviously huge.
Massive, yeah.
Gray Man may be the exception to the
Gray
rule,
Man,
but
yeah,
like
that felt like a
otherwise-
one
We
for
didn't have to
them.
mention it, bro.
That
We didn't
felt
have to
like
mention it.
That felt like a one for them. I still don't know what kind of
Right.
money
You're a fan,
laundering
you gotta
thing is
show up
going on.
for the bad sponsor. But
What's
look,
going on with some of those money laundering Apple TV,
got-
Netflix movies?
he's got eras too. When he did
does.
Drive, everyone was like, "Oh, and only God forgives." He's just a brooding guy who doesn't want to say anything.
No.
Now he's in the mode of he talks, and he won't shut up, like in
He won't
Barbie
shut up.
and the Fall Guys and all that
Fall
stuff.
Guy, yeah.
So I'm curious what the next one's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next level of Ryan Gosling that we're going to get? Because I think we've had Heartthrob in the early 2000s, because I keep forgetting how many movies he has with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Gangster Squad,
Yeah.
Crazy Stupid Love, all leading
classic.
to La La Land. So I also
Yeah.
want to see them back together.
Me too.
Yeah.
They're great.
I'd like to see him get back together with his Dead Man's Bones co-author Zach Shields and make some more
Yeah.
music. That was some creepy skeleton music. I don't know. It was kind of silly era of Gosling.
Absolutely.
Anyway, great movie star Ryan Gosling. Both of y'all have him at number 6, which is a great
Gordon
call.
Miller. He's doing a movie with them, bro.
Oh, right. That's actually a great poll. Project Hail Mary, which is based on a book a lot of people
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
the footage blew people away at CinemaCon, and we love Lord and Miller. So,
Yeah, so it's the same
2026?
same author
The
as
Martian.
The Martian. Same. The
Andy
Project Hail
Weir.
Mary.
But Drew Goddard's also a writer. That's my guy.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. All right.
great call. That's going to be a great one. Cool. Ryan Gosling at number 6.
putting him
Number
twice now.
6 on my list. Actor, writer, director, cheesesteak pioneer. I've got Bradley Cooper. He
Wow.
is
I love
handsome
Let's
with
go.
striking blue eyes like Paul Newman and has effortless charisma like him too. There are many tools in the filmmaker's bag, but few, I think, hold as much weight as what Bradley Cooper can do with like a sly smile. He's directed himself in 2 really memorable roles, pissing himself on stage at the Grammys for A Star is Born and then reining it in for Maestro. Between those films, he starred in Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley, had a scene-stealing performance in Licorice Pizza, and was in Clint Eastwood's last good movie, The Mule. Plus, cameos in Dungeons & Dragons, Abbott Elementary, Righteous Gemstones, and Art's favorite family film, If, as well as his incredible voice work as Rocket Raccoon. Cooper's already at work on his next movie. He's going to be the star and director of a dramedy called Is This Thing On? About a stand-up comedian navigating divorce and co-parenting that he co-wrote with Will Arnett. He'll also...
Will.
Yeah.
The boy.
He'll also be playing the legendary character Frank Bullitt in Steven Spielberg's remake of Bullitt. So that's a true movie star there, one who, makes roles for himself, but also is a trusted leading man for some great directors. Obviously, we all talk about how thirsty he seems for an Oscar, but he got his earned one,
Yeah.
Who is he up against Silver Linings Year?
Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, which is
Okay.
just a
Okay.
tough one.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was like, is that going to be?
They messed it up. They should have held it. They should be like, Daniel Day is dropping today. Ooh,
right.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But
Yeah, you
Cooper,
can't-
I think, has been nominated for 10 Oscars at this point,
And
or
at some point,
12
that's gotta
Oscars
count.
at
At some
this
point, that's got to count more. I get that
Yeah.
you want the thing, but like his 10 nominations has to mean more than Mikey Madison's 1 win.
Yeah.
In terms of
right,
a career.
the consistency.
That's not a
And
slight
not-
at Mikey at all, because I love
no.
Lenora. But
Right.
it's just like,
She's not on this list.
yeah.
What is it? 3 Oscar nominations is as good as 1 win. We could do the math on that.
Yeah, I would say.
Even though not all of those nominations are as an actor, it's still like 12 nominations is nothing to sneeze
Yeah,
at.
that's
So
crazy,
I'm
yeah.
sure Cooper will finally get his statue at some point.
For what? Writing, directing, acting, or stunts?
I'm hoping acting.
Yeah, I'm hoping
For him.
acting. I mean, I would have been happy to see him win something for A Star is Born behind the camera.
I think
I
that's
guess we
what
got
he-
to see a
that
little
would
bit
be
more from him
cool.
as a filmmaker too.
Yeah.
But I think he wants the acting one.
I
So
feel
for
that
his sake,
too.
I'd like him to get the acting one.
Right.
Yeah, but I always wonder when actors make that jump if that's something they really want to be known for. Kind of like Gaga really wants the acting one to solidify. Y'all know me as a singer, like I got that down. But if I get this one, boom, it's over. Because she got it for music already, right?
Gaga did win original song for Shallow, but
Yeah.
Cooper doesn't have a writing credit on it. So
Oh, that'll do it. Okay.
yeah.
And she still wants that acting one.
She's not getting it. No offense, Gaga fans.
I believe in you, Gaga. You got time.
Life is long.
Your
Who
Succession,
knows?
dude. What's his name? Your guy.
Jeremy
Kieran
Strong?
Culkin? Or Jeremy?
Dramaturgically, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the dramaturgy.
They've kind of put him in that realm where, like you were saying, it's a try hard. Like he really wants it, and people make fun of that. And I feel like that's what they've done with Jeremy Strong as well.
Yeah.
But it's not only that they want it. I think he's one of those where it's like he's also working for it. He's
Yeah.
not just taking the
Yeah.
bait roles. He's putting himself out there. I think what he does in Maestro is a little bit of a swing with the stuff that he's doing. I mean, Zach did the
Yeah.
voice and everything. There is
Yeah.
a love and a passion that's still behind all that manic, obsessive. I want to win an award because I want to be cemented.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I am rooting for him
It's-
to go in soon.
Yeah, it's easy to make fun of, and I get why we do it. But at the end of the day, I think as film fans, we want people who take their craft seriously.
Yeah.
And we're
We
better
should.
off when people like Bradley Cooper and Jeremy
Yeah.
Strong and
Absolutely.
Timothee Chalamet
Absolutely.
take
As
it
long
seriously.
as they're not like I know
Exactly,
Timmy
yeah.
doesn't. I know Timmy doesn't, but like I don't know if Jeremy Strong ruins his coworkers' days by being the way he is on set, and I don't think that should be rewarded. I don't think Cooper is a method actor.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we're not saying go full
No.
Jared Leto.
No,
and
no.
The rest of the cast of Succession did say Jeremy Strong was annoying, but they all seem to have love for him now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So
yeah, I don't think he's on the list of like Jared Leto asking people to push him around in a wheelchair because his Morbius
Right.
character can't walk right. Is like
Exactly.
But buddy, what?
Jared
Wait.
Leto, not anybody's top 10. No,
I was
You know,
about
I
to say at
fucking
number 5 I've got
forgot.
Jared Leto.
He's number one
Tron.
on my. He's number one on my cult list.
I was about to say he's number 1 on the do not leave the house for.
Yeah, a little bit. He's number
Are you
one
gonna
on
do
the, if he's in the movie, my video will make me a lot of money. He's really high on that list. But
Art, who do you have at number 5 on your list?
I almost didn't go see Gladiator 2,
Oh,
but Denzel was in it, and I had to.
that's fair.
My
kills
toughest
it.
cut. I had him at number 11 on my list, and I
Denzel's
feel
great.
Yeah.
pretty bad about it.
Honestly,
had to make it in.
that cast is the main reason I went to see Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
You know?
And everybody else, all the youngsters in it were great as well. Denzel just came in to tell you, hey, I'm still Denzel.
Yeah.
And any scene that Denzel is in, he's going to kill it.
Oh, he ate.
No need to mention everything that he's been in, but, even recent bouts like with the Coen for Tragedy Macbeth.
It was with Joel Cohen, I
The
believe.
serious
for
one.
Tragedy of
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it. You take that and you see why he's been doing Broadway for a minute now. You see him do the transition over to directing as well, so he can be a powerhouse like he was in Fences and bringing it both in. I love that he's also got his damn family coming in and following it through with another director, writer, another actor, and his son as well, John
David.
David Washington.
John David,
Yeah.
and then Malcolm's the
Malcolm.
director. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talented family.
Yeah.
Talented father for a reason,
Yeah.
and I mean Denzel. You don't even have to say the last name. It's Denzel. It's a Denzel movie. You're always going to be there for that. And he's got a new one with Spike Lee coming out. I have not. I only saw the teaser.
Highest to lowest.
Come on.
Great pick. Like I said, I had him just missing my list at number 11.
I have a
He's
couple
just
people
one of
I
the most
cut too.
dynamic,
Yeah.
powerful screen presences we got.
Yeah.
Like in Gladiator 2, he's so good he steals the movie away from Paul Mescal, which is just
yeah,
true.
It's
and I
bad,
just
bro.
don't think that role
Undeniable
is
shit.
a role for Paul Mescal as much
Yeah.
as he looked the part, and I love Paul, and I don't think he's as bad as some people say he was in the role. That's not where he shines. You shine, sad boy, shine as a sad boy, so that's where you need to be.
Amanda, you got a sad boy at number 5?
Actually, I do. I think maybe not with the most recent role, but I'm going Robert Pattinson at number 5.
That's a sad boy.
I originally had
Vintage.
Jake Gyllenhaal, but then looked at Jake Gyllenhaal's recent run of movies. And while he can still get me into the theater, I don't think his star power currently is as high as Robert Pattinson's, who I've been following not even since Twilight, since Harry Potter. Where he was Cedric Diggory. So, I've been familiar with his game for a while, and I think he is just a delight in movies. I think he is a delight just to listen to talk about the movies he's in. I loved hearing about the horrible time he had filming The Lighthouse, not far from where I live. I just think he's that guy. Anytime I see he's in a movie, I'm really interested to see what it's going to be, because you never know what level of Robert Pattinson are you getting. He has been moving himself back from the heartthrob roles, which I think is a good call for him. And while I did not love The Boy and the Heron, when I found out that when you saw the list of people that were going to be in that movie, and I had already seen the Japanese version, I was like, oh, he's going to be one of these other characters and Willem Dafoe is going to be the Heron. And you find out that he just sent this weird little voice recording and then he's the Heron. He's making the creepy little voice.
Right.
I just respect someone who would instantly be like, a new Miyazaki movie. Let me play the weird gremlin-like character. I think he's got it,
Yeah, I mean, he's, I think, one of those actors who's reached a phase where, like, you become bored with how handsome people think you are, so you like to mess things up and be kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
And I love when actors reach that stage, like the
Absolutely.
Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys kind of stage of their career.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Pattinson's always taken on interesting roles. Perhaps of the, like, people like him, like Kristen Stewart, like Daniel Radcliffe, who have that, YA movie mega success, he's navigated the, like, doing stuff he's interested in while still appearing in blockbusters the most smoothly of them.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, but he's always interesting on screen.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
was one of my honorable mentions as well. So that's a great pick.
Nice.
Number 5 on my list, I'm going with an enigmatic, wildly performer who's super entertaining and unafraid of bizarre parts or dark material. He's rarely the star, but typically he's the most or one of the most memorable roles in whatever he's in. It's not even that every movie he does is great, but if Willem Dafoe is in your movie, I'm going to take it more seriously.
I'm going to be honest, that description, I was waiting for Jesse Plemons.
I mean, Jesse Plemons is probably going to be there very, very soon.
Yeah, but
he's kind of
Willem
aspiring
Dafoe.
to a Willem Dafoe style career because
yeah.
I feel like Willem Dafoe signing on to your movie is like a cosign that really carries weight. sweet. I associate him mostly with art films, but he's also maybe the greatest comic book movie villain of all time.
Yeah.
With Green Goblin.
He's up there.
Plus, he's in the Aquaman movies.
Something of a
there.
legend himself. He is
Just
there.
the diversity of his run recently. Listen to this. Legend of Ochi, Nosferatu, Saturday Night, Beetlejuice, Kinds of Kindness, Gonzo Girl, Finally Dawn, Poor Things, Asteroid City, Inside, The Northman, Nightmare Alley, The Card Counter, and Spider-Man: No Way Home.
He's good.
He's been nominated for 4 Oscars, but he's never won one. I feel like
is
if I could
wild.
put a bet on people who might win one in the next decade, he'd probably be close to the top of the list because people
would
love
hope.
this guy.
Yeah. I think he
yeah.
kind of got shafted because a lot of his most memorable roles where he should or could be nominated are things that the Oscars don't typically like nominating or haven't like nominating, because I feel like there was definitely a year where like Nosferatu got no acknowledgement at the Oscars, but like this year
Right.
they were like, I guess we can't ignore this, but like The Lighthouse got nothing, and you know, it's kind of like a Toni Collette situation where it's like, this is technically one of the best performances of the year, but you're just ignoring it for weird reasons.
Yeah.
So I think he
Yeah.
unintentionally gets pulled into that, and then he does do so many memorable small roles, but never enough to like get him that supporting nomination.
Right. He got the most recent one was for At Eternity's Gate, where I think he was playing
Oh,
Leonardo
yeah.
da Vinci, but that was a pretty surprising nomination. And then before that, it was the Florida Project. But again, it's these like, it's these small unexpected roles, and I don't know when the right one will come along, but you know, I'm always intrigued by what Dafoe is offering.
Yeah. He also doesn't
so I
seem
got him.
bothered by it though.
No,
He
not at
doesn't
all.
seem like one of those people who's bothered by not having anything, you know? Like Timmy
Yeah.
wants it more than him, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think he seems pretty content to just be working, and
Yeah.
seems
Exactly.
like one of those actors who seems to love acting.
He does,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard him talk at TIFF, and it was just like the passion that he brings into every role he's doing. Well, it's so weird. He feels like he is the creative mind behind it, but he's also not taking it from whoever the director or the writer is. He's just very like collaborative, but in a way that it's like, I'm in awe of my director, I'm in awe of the writer, and this is what it means to me. So I respect the hell out of him as an actor, as a creative.
Absolutely. Okay, Dafoe, number 5 on my list. Let's get into number 4's. Arturo, who you got for us?
Margot Robbie.
Hell yeah.
Producer, actor, extraordinaire. I think she's been able to balance a lot of it. Obviously, all the movies she's been in, from Barbie to Babylon, which I think we're defenders of here. Asteroid City comes in and even steals it in one simple scene. I think that she's a powerhouse in everything that she's in. I think she's a household name. Your parents know Margot Robbie.
I did message my mom. My mom could describe him, was pretty sure he was in Dune, but only because of my videos.
For Margot, I think the slate that she has coming up, I know that she's helped produce, what's her name, Promising Young Woman, who's been iffy,
Emerald
half and
Fennell.
half. Yeah, she's got the Wuthering Heights thing with her. She's got the Kogonada movie coming up. And then, as we mentioned before, it's going to be her and Ryan Gosling, who, have we seen them together? Gotten her and Will Smith in focus.
Yeah, not yet, but feels like a great pair.
Wait, did you
Yeah.
say we haven't seen Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling together?
I'm trying to remember, what was
Barbie?
Oh, wait, no,
Barbie?
Barbie. Oh, you're
Literally
totally
Barbie?
right.
Guys, first I was like, is this one of Art's classic goofs?
it? They're so transformative.
And I was like, literally the biggest movie like last year.
They were in that little Barbie movie.
They were in that little Barbie movie.
Yeah. So
you see-
who can remember it?
So we have to skip Ocean's 11 and go to what that third La La Land moment is going to be. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it. But no, she's a legend already in her own right. One of the best moments of The Big Short is her breaking the fourth wall to explain what's happening in The Big
Yeah,
Short.
there's technically 2. They were both in that movie. Ryan Gosling's like the narrator
Oh
of
my
that movie.
gosh, dude!
Yeah.
This Ocean's 11 movie is gonna be the one.
It's gonna be the one.
Mathematically, we're set. She's a household name for a reason, and
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if she makes the jump to directing, considering everything she's done behind the camera, who she supported. A mom now as well, so just balancing it all. Her, Emma Stone, honestly,
Yeah.
2 of the biggest powerhouses.
They're running it.
in truly
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
Yeah, she's one of these big screen starlets who I feel like there's so much adoration around them,
Yeah.
but they could easily like take a bunch of big roles in popular things and have a big career. But it's so cool the way that she seems to be trying to take charge of her career and put the types of movies she wants to be in into production and stuff like that. So feel like it's the stuff that keeps you around for longer. So she's gonna
Absolutely.
have a really
Well, she-
exciting, interesting career.
And she's
yeah, she's
still Harley Quinn. Not Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. Who knows?
Technically,
I don't.
I guess.
Yeah, whatever it is, bro. I'm not
Or
sure.
she didn't she talk about like passing the baton to Gaga, at least for the, I don't know. I had her at number 13 on my list.
And then took that right back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right, Margot Robbie, number 4 on Art's list. Who's 4 on yours, Amanda?
You know, I'm gonna go Kristen Stewart. We're gonna do the 1-2 punch Twilight back
Pair
to
'em
back
up.
here. Kristen Stewart, you know, I can openly admit not necessarily 100% the best track record, but nowadays I feel like for the most part, if she's in a movie, it's good and she's good. I feel like a lot of people don't respect her as much as they should. I do think that Spencer kind of changed that a little bit, thankfully. But for me personally, in my headcanon, if Kristen Stewart's in a movie, I'm going to be there. She is also doing her directorial debut this year at Cannes, so interested to
That's
see
exciting.
if that turns out well. I think people have said she's really good to work with in terms of that, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she does from here on out. She always picks interesting projects, whether they pan out or not, but I feel like lately they've been panning out more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You mentioned that the track record is maybe like a bit spotty in parts, but it is because she
Yes.
is trying things and really putting herself out there and working with up and coming directors. And, you know, sometimes the results are mixed, but sometimes the results are really great. And she is an actor who is really capable of bringing a lot to a project, and also an actor who's capable of attaching herself to a project that then will get made as a result.
Yes.
Which
That's
is
what her
really
and Pattinson do well. Yeah, they
Yeah.
found the kookiest ideas from everybody out there. Claire, what's the wildest thing you got? What do you got over here? And they just
I'll do it.
they help boost it, and they know that, they recognize that, and they took all of that Twilight fame to become that. I like how Amanda had compared Emma Stone before, that while you didn't like Poor Things, that's still a stock you invest in.
Yeah.
Because while it may be a miss for you, you know the next one's going to be something that you're going to remember.
I can tell when
And
something's
same thing
bad
here,
because it's bad, and when it's just something I don't like. And I think Poor
Yeah.
Things was something that I just don't like. It's not a bad movie by any means, and that's not a bad
Yeah.
performance by any means. So
And it's good for you to have things that are going to be on and off, like these
Yeah.
actors being able to take these swings for things. Back to Margot Robbie,
Yeah.
she didn't get blamed, maybe for some people, but I think they were weirdos for Amsterdam and Babylon. I feel like the directors got more of the
which is fair.
backlash for that,
You
as they
know.
should. Yeah,
As they should, especially when they're those types of directors. You're the creative force behind
Yeah.
it too. Like, that's on
You also
you.
you can't smack talk the person who was just in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You can't. You can't.
But yeah, no, Kristen Stewart, easily one of the best to do it. Still being here and through everything too, because I would say that's also a very popular celebrity.
Absolutely. Oh
You
yeah,
know, so that's
no,
a
like
lot-
she was the only
that's a lot
person
to
I've
handle.
ever seen who had to be like escorted out of cons separately with security because there was so many people waiting.
Because of Amanda. Because Amanda was right there
No,
with
they
the
let me in the
harpoon.
room. They let me in the room. I was allowed in the room. That was fine. I was good. It was safe. It was everyone outside. It was all the other people that were weird. But yeah, like she's the only person I've seen get ushered away so quickly at various festivals and Q&A situations where usually they just walk
Yeah.
out and take time and they'll talk to people. With her, it was like a safety concern. They had to bring her out a different exit.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with her at a Q&A in New York, where I've been to many Q&As at the Lincoln Square Theater where the actors or directors just sort of walk out through the audience, but not Kristen Stewart. She's
It's true. Yeah,
she
you'll
can't
never
she
know
can't
when
be out in
there's the
public like
host
that.
of an
bro.
awards show waiting for you. You'll never know. So you have to get people out of the way.
Hey, yo, did you catch Sacramento?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, like a month ago.
Bro.
She's fun at it.
She's fun in it. What is she doing babysitting that boy in that movie?
I know. I was like Michael Cera
Crazy.
with the scruffed beard. I'm like, no, he's not worth
Bro.
this. He's not worth
I was
this.
like, yeah, what would she really be saying to this man right here?
Literally.
Number 4 at my list, I'm gonna go with Jake Gyllenhaal. And that's because Jake's kind of been
He's
my
great.
guy longer than anybody on this list. The love goes back to Donnie Darko for me. But I
Art's
think
number
he's
2,
also
apparently.
Oh, very
Like
cool.
I said, I just bopped him off the list for Rob
easily,
a minute
bro.
ago when I was like, I forgot about
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
And
He's
look,
up there.
You're right. Like maybe the track record has been like a little bit spottier recently, but I just think he's so wonderfully unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
Yeah.
phase where it felt like he was just chasing like critical and awards acclaim, where he was in movies like Prisoners, Enemy, Nightcrawler, my personal
Ridiculous,
favorite Jake
bro.
Gyllenhaal performance,
Mm-hmm.
Southpaw, Demolition, Nocturnal Animals, Okja, Stronger, Wildlife, Sister Brothers. Like it was a real run
Yeah.
of working with interesting people on interesting projects. And then it feels like he made an intentional shift towards doing some more crowd pleasing stuff like a lot of action star type movies where he was Mysterio in Spider-Man. He was in The Guilty for Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah.
He was the dad in A Strange World. And then in that Guy Ritchie movie, The Covenant, and of course the Roadhouse remake, which they're making a Guy Ritchie sequel for.
Yeah.
Ambulance.
Oh yeah, Ambulance.
Yeah. And of course, Michael Bay's Ambulance, right? But I feel like that's kind of allowed him to experiment and take on these weird ideas and be the loudest, craziest version of himself as an actor. And I really am there for it. He elevates what would otherwise be pretty boilerplate movies in a lot of these cases and makes them eccentric and interesting and textured and different. Next year, he's going to be in his sister's film, The Bride, about Frankenstein's bride. And he's also going to be in the M. Night Shyamalan Nicholas Sparks project, Remain.
I can't support it. I can't support it.
Yeah, M. Night Sparks movie is a Nicholas Sparks movie.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that tone is going to be like, but
I have no idea.
Is it a book already?
Yeah.
Or this is like
No, they're writing it. I think it's specifically a project written for this.
interesting with Phoebe?
No, I just can't put stock in Nicholas Sparks. I can't do it. If I wanted to make money, I would, but I can't put stock in Nicholas Sparks.
Art, you said you had him at number 2. Why is he so high on your list?
It's my guy, dude.
He's the guy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
The next 3 that I have are easily number 1s. I think my number 1 is the obvious choice. But personally, Jake Gyllenhaal is my number 2 because he's one of my favorite actors. Everything that he's in, I know he's going to deliver in. And I feel like you were mentioning, when you have a hacksaw, right? You have a little bit of what Roadhouse was. I'm trying to see some of the other weird stuff that he's done. I'd say his interviews. He is the cringiest person in interviews, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world. The Strange World press run, where he kept doing the same bit in front of Jabuki about, honestly, we all kind of live in a strange world, is one of the best clipped out scenes out there until Ambulance came out. Yeah. And Yahya just left him on red when it was like, Ambulance is so exciting. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. It's just crickets, bro. And then you catch another interview and he does it again with nothing.
What is? And then there was the whole thing about that movie he was supposed to be on, but then he like ruined it somehow and was like swimming naked in the Icelandic oceans or something.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
I will admit, it seems like there are reports that he is more problematic. I believe the Rebecca Ferguson.
That might have more to do with his recent track record than in trying new things.
Edging towards Leto territory, though I'm not ready to say he's
But he has the talent to back it up. At least
there.
I will say he at least has enough talent to get away with some of it.
And that's where it's dangerous, right? That's where you're willing to look the other way.
Yeah.
Look, I love Nocturnal Animals. Enemy is one of my favorite movies. On top of being one of my favorite Denny. Yeah. Nah, he just comes in with some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And like Zach has mentioned, when you are able to go all the way back, where him and his sister were starting off as kids, to still have the career going on now. Yeah. I want to see what else he's going to be able to bring because he can get kooky. I think he can get like Nick Cage.
Real kooky.
And I want to see him
get that kooky.
Ham it up. So I'm interested to see what else he has in store. But
even most recently, he should be on this list. He should be on my list. Yeah. But
he's covered. It wasn't in theaters. Roadhouse 2 comes out next year, so you'll be able to give him the praise.
Yeah, give him the praise there. You're right.
Presumed Innocent. Fantastic.
I did like that. Yeah, that's kind of I like that one.
Favorite TV performances from last year as well.
Yeah, he was really good.
Jake Gyllenhaal, my number 2. Zach's number 4.
4.
And not on Amanda's list because she's too much of a Swiftie. Okay, before we get into our top 3s.
It's fair. It's fair.
Should we do some honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Art, you said you had a bunch of up-and-comers.
It's actually pretty short. I want to say it's just 4 because I put some of the other people in my indie category. Kaylee Spaney is at the top of the list. Like, she is damn near crossing over into being a mainstream star. Give it a year or 2, Amanda's parents are going to know her name. Facts. But Alien, Priscilla, Civil War.
Civil War.
Sophie Thatcher, I think, is really getting up there, especially with all the horror she keeps coming in. Aaron Pierre, I also got as an upcomer. He's about to be in the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I really liked him in Rebel Ridge and a lot of the other parts that he's been in. Kingsley Ben-Adir as well, I think, is on the rise to get there. Outside of those little up-and-comers, my indie list can go on forever, bro. But I'll start with my main 3. Andre Holland, Calvin Harrison. Are we counting Matt Johnson, guys? Like...
I would. When I said Tim Robinson, I was like, Matt Johnson.
Like, Caitlin was trying to argue with me that I should put him on the list. He just doesn't act that much, but when he does act, I am really interested in it.
Yeah, he's got that, like...
I saw Matt and Mara.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Decent in that.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's cute.
He should take more of those to balance out and really create, that Safdie, the one that's acting kind of repertoire as he builds it up. Simon Rex,
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Jessie Buckley,
Your girl.
John McGarl.
John McCarro.
John McGarl right at the end.
John McGarro's on the like intercut, like the best intercut actors.
Absolutely.
Which is
You mentioned up and comers. I got Io Debris on that list.
Same.
I don't know if either of you have her like on your real list.
No,
but
she's on my runner-up.
Christopher Abbott is.
Yeah, he's on my
the
up and coming. Not up and coming, but
King-
honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Prince of Sundance, King of Sundance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Austin Butler. I feel like we haven't had a lot
Hell yeah.
from him yet.
No, he
but
counts. He counts.
Yeah, especially he's going to be in R.A. Astor's Eddington as well, but he stole Dune Part 2 and was great in Elvis. Gabriel LaBelle,
Oh, yeah.
excellent in The Fablemans, excellent in Snack Shack, excellent in Saturday Night. I would not be surprised to see him on this list in the future. I got Rachel Zegler, I got Anya Taylor-Joy, I got Mia Goth, I got Adria Arjona, and, as we were mentioning earlier, Geraldine Viswanathan in my On the Rise list. A few character actors I did want to shout out as people who I don't know if necessarily they're the top of the list, but I'm always happy to see them round out the cast. We just got a trailer drop for the new Grand Theft Auto game, and I was delighted to hear Stephen Root as one of the voiceover actors in that, because he's always a delight. Bobby Cannavale is an actor I like quite a bit. Jeremy Strong, we were talking about him earlier. He's so good in The Apprentice. Very, very good actor. Michael Shannon, I like quite a bit. John Goodman. Art, your guy Paul Dano. Always happy to see him in a movie. And then a couple comedy actors who I'm always happy to see, even if they don't necessarily make a ton of stuff. Andy Samberg, always delighted by a new Andy Samberg movie. Jim Carrey is effectively retired outside of Sonic, but he's getting me to show up for those Sonic movies.
Fair.
And I would kind of throw Jack Black in here, even though I'm not really into like the kids movies that he's usually attached to, but I like a Jack Black performance.
Yeah, I love a Jack Black movie. I'm off the train right now, but I hope to get on the next stop for sure. Anyone put Kieran? Aubrey?
They're in my honorable. So yeah, Kieran Culkin's in my honorable. Aubrey Plaza's in my honorable. I've also got Paul Mescal here. Dakota Johnson, because, she's fun. Natalie Portman is one of those ones who probably should be in the star meter, but she's down here. I also have, some of the really big names that probably should be in my list, but I've moved them out of the way for some up-and-coming people like Leo and Brad Pitt. Gyllenhaal's here for me. Sophie Wilde, I'm interested to see what Sophie Wilde does from Talk to Me and minorly in Baby Girl. Adele Haenel. I think she quit acting. I think France's acting stuff. So it's one of the leads in Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Yeah. So I don't think she'll come back, but if she does,
she was great in.
I'll be there. Yeah, she's great in anything I've seen her in. And then obviously I'll toss in Noémie Merlan. Yeah, there's a lot of good up and coming talent. Maybe Thomasin McKenzie, see what she's up to.
Oh, Thomasin, hell yeah.
Yeah, Thomasin
bro.
for sure.
Caitlin Dever or Zoe Deutsch.
Oh yeah, of course, Zoe Deutsch. Yeah, love her.
The people who just missed my top 10, I mentioned Denzel Washington. I mentioned Margot Robbie when both of you mentioned them. I got Colin Farrell here. I really wanted to put Colin Farrell in my top 10. I really enjoy Colin Farrell performance. I would have Adam Sandler in my top 10 if I could do a stipulation that it doesn't include the Happy Madison movies, as much as I am looking forward to Happy Gilmore 2.
Fair.
I don't know. If it was just the dramas, I'd be there. No Baumbach movie in the future.
True.
Pattinson, you mentioned. Jennifer Lawrence, you mentioned. Ryan Gosling, you mentioned. Aubrey Plaza, you mentioned. Elizabeth Moss, Christian Bale, Tilda Swinton, Jeffrey Wright, Lakeith Stanfield, Tom Cruise, Coleman Domingo, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen.
Tom Cruise was one I had to
Big
cut.
ones.
Yeah.
Good ones.
Ray Fiennes?
Rafe's on the long list. Kate Blanchett's on the long list. Olivia Colman.
Oh, Olivia.
Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway was one I thought of real late, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't find the room for her.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, for me. Oh my God, I forgot about him. He should be on my
Andrew
list.
Garfield.
Oh no, I will turn up for anything Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, I feel, has put in the work and
He's put in the
continues
work,
to
and
deliver.
he feels like a good person to support.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Paul Giamatti.
Ooh,
Giamatti.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of time for the Boston boys, Ben and Matt. I generally enjoy them on screen. Lupita Nyong'o, I don't think anybody's mentioned Ben.
Yeah, I have
Ooh,
Lupita. Keanu?
Yo, Keanu's a great pick.
Nick Holt is getting up there. I don't know if you mentioned it, but I know you
Nicholas
guys have
Hoult is
been
getting
really
up there,
liking everything he's been in. I don't think he's delivered a bad performance.
I don't think so. Pretty much all the Skins boys.
Intercut favorites, Lucas Gage.
Yep.
Hey,
Getting it there?
the
The
guy.
boy.
Natasha Lyonne hasn't done it for
you're
movies
right,
yet.
Yeah, but
But I mean, she's back with a season 2.
yeah. She's running the shows.
Exactly. And James McAvoy. There's something about James McAvoy that I always feel is underrated, and he delivers.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't bring up Tom Hardy, who has been your guy at
Tom
times.
Hardy is my guy. I don't know why I disrespected him. That's on me. That's on me. To be honest, and I had a June Squibb joke over here too, but I disrespect. We said Amy Adams, right? Please, someone said Amy Adams.
Yeah, Amy Adams.
Oh, dear
And then
Lord.
4 more people that we probably should mention here, but hopefully you guys don't have in your chops. Matthew McConaughey, Mahershala Ali,
Good.
Robert Downey Jr., and Ed Norton.
Scarlett
I
Johansson.
was literally about to say Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to toss her in.
We just go
Yeah.
through all of them. I don't
just
even
going there.
look. This was
Rachel
kind of half a joke
McAdams.
bit.
Somebody
whole
pull up the
Marvel lineup.
Endgame
George
cast
Clooney.
list right now.
The chairs. Just read them one by one. Yo, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
What is it? $2 billion, $3 billion, however much he's made in the
He's
movies
the
he's
guy.
in. That's another dude, just in the background. Hey, he did the Capital One commercials, and now everyone hopped on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about those top 3 actors. Art, who do you got at number 3 on your list?
One of your honorable mentions, Colin Farrell.
Nice.
Let's go.
Oh, he's the
He's
guy.
Glad
not.
you found room for him.
He's not jumping over Jake, but damn, do both of these two. Have they had a movie together, bro?
I want to say no, but that would be great.
Colin Farrell has made his the McDonough movies, which I think are really good. Even
Incredible.
the ones that I haven't loved, I know I just got to sit on those for later. He has done one of the best Yorgos movies in The Lobster. He's done a very effective turn in The Penguin and being able to not have that just up in theaters, but also as a show. And look, he's got personal favorites. Phone Booth.
Goes
Come
hard.
on, come on.
No,
Yeah.
it's true.
Colin Farrell locked in. I like Colin Farrell a lot.
Me too. Yeah.
And I'm glad he's still around doing his thing.
Yeah. I don't know if my favorite performance of his is The Lobster
Oh,
or
we're
The
going
Banshees of
favorite.
Inisherin, but he's so great in those
so good.
Lanthimos movies. You know, he's the soulful Irish actor who has a sing-songy voice and
Yep.
just the saddest eyes when you call
Yes.
for them. I love how he was able to go from like this Hollywood bad boy to basically like the most thoughtful thespian over the course of his career. He's just now like a super endearing Irish dad.
Yeah.
Was also in Widows.
He was supposed to be the star of Luca Guadagnino's now postponed or canceled Sergeant Rock movie,
Yeah.
DC movie.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
But
Okay.
he's also in production on Edward Berger's next film, the director of Conclave,
Nice.
called The Ballad of a Small Player, where he plays a gambler.
Oh, that's gonna be good, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell
Oh, that's
and he's
gonna be
also
good.
attached to All of Us Strangers filmmaker Andrew Hayes' next movie.
Wow.
Belly of
Nice.
the Beast.
Beautiful.
Seven Psychopaths might be one of my
Seven Psychopaths.
favorite. I'm not gonna say it's his best, but I like that.
Great-
that
Nice.
performance.
Great Colin
a lot,
Farrell
yes.
performance.
Got a
If we
great
have to name one.
filmography.
Solid pick. Amanda, what about you? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Florence Pugh. I feel like we talked about her a lot, but I can't think of a Florence performance I didn't like, and most of the movies I like or love. So gotta go Florence. Very talented.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've been missing her a little bit because she sort of has spent all this time in the MCU recently, but now we had this
Yeah.
big moment for her in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I think she took a bit of a break too, because she said when filming
Yeah.
Thunderbolt, she was like, I didn't realize how much I was struggling until I played a character that was struggling this much.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Thunderbolts too. Yeah,
me
I like
too.
that part. That was
Yeah,
cool.
it's great.
But it's also resulted in basically every role she's taken over the past few years being pretty memorable at the very least, if not
Right, yeah.
iconic.
Yeah.
Great pick. My number 3, I'm going with Daniel Kaluuya. Art, I'm a little surprised he's not in your 10.
Hell yeah.
Elusive star who commands the screen with his commanding voice and captivating eyes. Obviously, all great actors have compelling faces, but I just think there's something about Kaluuya that's so transfixing. Like, think of his vacant, sunken place stare in Get Out, or the intimidating furrow he gets in his brow in Widows. You just can't help but stare at his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 8 films. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the voice of Hobie. Nope. Judas and the Black Messiah. Queen and Slim, maybe the skippable one there. Widows,
looks
Black
good.
Panther, Get Out, and Sicario. It's like a can't miss record from a guy who was basically just starting out post Skins in that era. The only thing is like, it just like a lot of black actors, it feels like Hollywood is at a loss sometimes for what to do with them. Just the fact that he hasn't been physically on our screens again since Nope is criminal to me.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's the bit, bro. But no, I'm wrong. He should be on this list tenfold. I'm right outside. He's my first honorable mention, and no, like you said, he is able to command the screen in a way that very few people can just with his eyes. And the projects that he takes, I think, mean so much. To be able to be what would have been probably the next person to carry on Black Panther and say, no, I'm too busy, I can't even do Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about, because that's the other thing too, right? If we're talking about like artists and these palettes, what director can get something else out of him that you would like to see?
I think that intensity that he shows us a bit of in Widows is something that we haven't necessarily gotten a huge amount of. Maybe something that's a little bit more action oriented,
Steve McQueen,
but not necessarily like a full on kind of like Chad Stahelski movie, but
Right.
something that's a little grittier than that would be cool.
Like a Michael
You feel
Mann.
you-
Do you want him in a Michael
Yeah,
Mann
like-
movie?
Honestly, if like, you know, he probably can't be a young Al Pacino, but
Yeah.
put him in the Heat prequel somehow, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
I want to see him do something with Spike. I don't think he's done something with Spike.
Oh,
I feel like
true.
he's
Yeah.
he's been working with a lot of specifically black directors. Also, you know he's so good because that caused Samuel L. Jackson, if you remember, to go on the whole rant of black British actors taking American roles.
Forgot about
He's
that
like
one.
the poster child for that.
Yeah.
But he is the best. Zach's right. Easily
Yeah.
top 5 person.
And just because we're mentioning Widows so much, probably should at least mention Brian Tyree Henry, who, for my money, is one of the best working actors right now.
Yeah, he's
I
great.
should have never give him that IKEA line in the trailer. I hate that line.
So I got Kaluuya number 3 on my list. Art, you had Jake Gyllenhaal at number 2 on your list. So Amanda, let's go back to you for your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 probably shouldn't be here, but for me, if she's
for
in a
you.
movie, I'm going to see it. Rachel Sennott.
fair.
Rachel Sennott comes out clean even in the worst of things. So like, I think, and you know, she's proven she's got the movie chops, she's got the television chops. She's making her own show with HBO right
Yep.
now.
Yup.
She is such a name, such a draw that they will prominently feature her in so much advertising for things where she is in one scene, in two scenes, barely important, especially in one
They
movie.
know.
She was so prominently billed in Holland, and she shows up briefly to the point that whole scene could have been cut and wouldn't have made a fucking difference. Because she's got that power. She's got the juice. She's hilarious. She is very tapped into like this modern culture, so she feels like she's for Gen Z, but then is still like still funny for people that are older. She's a talent. She's a genuine talent, and I'm very excited to see more from her.
She's really particularly gifted at giving you like a full impression of a character in a really quick glimpse.
Yes.
And that's so useful, particularly in like some of the comedic stuff that she's been in. But we've seen that she's able to handle some more dramatic stuff
Even
as
with
well.
Shiva
With,
Baby,
like I used to be funny.
And I used to be funny.
Yeah, so she's a talented, really talented star. Another one of the on the rise actors. But look, if you're gonna watch every Rachel Sennott project, then
She came
merits
out clean
putting
in
her
the
high
Idol,
up on this
Zach.
list.
She
Right?
came out clean in the Idol. No one came out clean in that except her.
Exactly.
Would you say she's like the new style of acting? I feel like her and Ao are bringing in more of a. I don't want to say realistic because that
No,
was like
but it's
Brando
like-
coming in.
It's just
But
like I
there's
think
more of a
AO I still
presence.
think can play into like more traditional, whereas like Rachel really does
Really?
just seem like you gave someone with like a TikTok. They were like, you have a funny TikTok account, make a movie, but like
Yeah.
in a way that is actually good.
And I feel like we're not going to name it yet, but the same way that Marlon Brando when he came in, I don't know if y'all have ever seen On the Waterfront or not, but where like you got the old timey actors acting their way, then Marlon Brando's doing his thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where she's at as well, where you see her, like you're saying, appear where everyone's trying really hard in the Idol, and she's just doing her thing,
Yeah.
which is why she's going to
Right.
get scot-free. In Bottoms, she just knows what the tone is every single time.
Well, to be fair, she wrote that one too, so that's helpful.
Which one?
But Bottom, she's
Bottoms.
she's
Oh,
co-write.
well,
she's
yeah,
a co-writer.
But like anything else that she's been in, I
Yeah.
feel like she's able to really understand what it's supposed to be for the audience who can relate to it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like an actor. It feels like someone who's hung out with the character that she's portraying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To the point that sometimes it's meta. Like with the Charlie XCX stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Now, there is that thing where you'll watch an older film, and even if you like get what's happening, there is like antiquated speech patterns that you can't help but
that's
notice.
exactly what I'm talking. Yeah, exactly.
And people like her, people like Io, I think, are at the forefront of like a very modern style of speech pattern.
Absolutely.
That I don't know if naturalistic is necessarily the right
Exactly. We
word,
don't
but
have
it
a
does
word yet.
feel.
But it's something
It-
like that.
It feels
Modern?
less like faked. It feels just authentic to
Yeah.
a certain
Yeah.
generation
Well,
of
that's what Amanda was saying.
interactions.
Like a TikToker who
Yeah,
someone
Yeah.
you're
it's
actually
like-
finding
But like,
just
it's
filming
good. Not when
themselves.
they do it, because they do it all the time.
No,
and it's
for sure,
terrible.
yeah.
But like, this is like genuine.
The
Like,
best version of it.
yeah, and maybe that's kind of what it is. You know, you had a couple people from NYU make a short and it does well, and then you get a feature and it does even better.
Yeah.
And that's what I
But
mean.
they're tapped into the zeitgeist. They
Yeah, exactly.
know
And
how
it's not
people want to
always-
hear it.
Yeah, and it's not always the same. Like the humor is always the same, but like you can't say that like her character in Shiva Baby is the same as her character in Bottoms, because like
Exactly.
they're doing different things, but they
Yeah.
all feel like authentic in their own way. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Got a lot of stock in her.
Yeah.
my
Well,
number two.
the same way we've grown, right? We're the non-traditional
Yeah.
movie people as well.
Yeah.
And the same way she's coming in doing on you non-traditional acting.
Yeah, it's
For
cool.
the
Now everybody
record,
shits on the TikTokers, so we're a little bit safer now.
It just passes on.
just
to the
passes
next
on.
thing.
You know what?
Oh,
The
damn.
YouTuber's not so bad. These
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
you know what? Now is this, bro. We're moving on to the next thing to hate. Mutiny on the Bounty was the movie I was bringing up from Marlon Brando. If you watch that, everyone's doing old-timey stuff, and the guy's running circles around them. So, Marlon Brando, reincarnated in Rachel Sennott.
I'm always
I see it.
I always enjoy the weird places that conversations like this go. But yeah, to me, today the highlight is comparing Rachel Sennott to Marlon Brando. That was not in my,
on Mutiny
my
on the
bingo
Bounty
card.
specifically.
Specifically there.
All right, Rachel Sennott, number 2 on Amanda's list. I already mentioned Emma Stone is number 2 on my list. So let's reveal our number 1s. Arturo, kick us off.
The best to ever do it. Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro were considered the best duo. And then this man said, let me take your place. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's
My
that
number
guy.
1 as well.
He
a
probably
movie
should be. He probably should be mine, but I
star.
was like, I'm gonna give it to someone else.
It's that, right? It's like when we were doing the Our Guy Awards and we're like, well, Timmy like is everyone's guy. Can that even count? It has to. He's above Jake Gyllenhaal for me because I have to be a serious person here. Leonardo DiCaprio is who we're saying is giving advice to the other people on our list.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, like I said,
Yeah.
Timmy's the Leonardo DiCaprio for Gen Z. It's
Yeah.
because Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio is busy being Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
DiCaprio. Zach,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's going to be in a PTA movie, buddy.
Yeah.
I am so
And we're gonna
hyped.
find
You
out
have no
real
idea.
soon whether
Thank
it was
you
good
for
or not.
allowing us to live this long to see
I
it.
know, right?
Oh, man.
That's gotta be Zach's. To get
it's-
Schwartzman in there, and it would be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it is my most anticipated movie for many, many reasons.
Yeah,
but those
yeah.
He's
among
been
them.
anticipating this for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
He's the
yeah.
one in this one.
In this age of prestige TV shows, it's not really a surprise to see big movie stars doing TV anymore. But I do think if I saw Leonardo DiCaprio would be
feel
in an
weird.
upcoming Apple TV Plus movie, yeah, that would be a sign of the end times.
Oh, you're
Leo
right. That's a good
is a movie star.
He's a movie
Like
star.
that's just
He's
what
the guy.
he
Yeah.
is. If he's in it, it's guaranteed to be an event. I've been really excited by how he seems like he's kind of started to abandon just generally being hot in movies.
Well, I
and
think
now
he had
he's,
to.
Yeah, I mean, time
Yeah,
comes
but
for
what
us
he's
all.
saying,
but-
what he's saying was like, you could go
It
like
didn't
this.
come from Brad Pitt
He
yet.
went like
so,
that.
he went hard. He
But,
was
like,
like,
it-
and I appreciate that. It's kind of like what Robert Pattinson's
Yeah.
been trying to do, just like near.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
like free to be like a weird leading man now. I
Yeah.
feel like he's
I love
fully
it.
on our way to becoming our generation's Jack Nicholson or something
Yeah.
like that.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
he's up there.
There might be other actors who are maybe a little more exciting on my list, but I just can't imagine missing a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I looked at his IMDb, and the last movie he made that I did not see in a theater was in 2001. So that kind of speaks
When
loudly
you
as
were
to a guy's
11.
legacy. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say you saw Don't Look Up in a theater.
Yeah, I saw it at the Paris Theater with a Q&A afterwards.
Screw both
There
of
you
us. I
go.
saw it at an Alamo Draft House too in Texas, bro. Like that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah,
And we
you're
didn't know
man.
it was gonna be that movie. Like we didn't know what it was
Right?
gonna be. But
Exactly,
again, like even
but-
a Netflix movie, we made it out of our way with no AMC check-in because AMC doesn't
Mm-hmm.
give you Netflix movies. We're still there, bro. I mentioned The Aviator
Mm.
probably once a month.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
I'm
fair.
like,
Yeah.
bro, there's a
No,
scene
and
in The
you-
Aviator.
And you mentioned the Scorsese thing, right? Like if he,
Yeah.
when we talk about like the great actor director pairings, or like, oh, it's really cool that Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are doing these movies
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
If they could one day be like Scorsese and DiCaprio, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Oh, when
that's
that
the
what you
happens,
want.
it's
standard.
done for us. It's
Yeah.
over for the three of us. Hold on, wait a minute. I mean, look, the track record: Wolf of Wall
Yeah.
Street,
Yeah,
Shutter Island,
yeah. Catch me if you can.
Killers, Catch. Well, that's Spielberg.
Oh, sorry, you're talking. Yeah.
But
Just specifically the two of
freaking
them.
incredible.
Killers of the
Right,
Flower
right, right.
Moon.
Yeah.
dude, they were quoting "Catch Me If You Can" at Wrigley. What do you think? I concur. I concur. I was like, boys. No, he's the best.
So good.
And if we're going outside of it, Gatsby,
Yeah, I like
Django.
Django.
He's like, who is he
Departed?
missing other than your boy PTA?
Yeah.
Like that's
the-
why
the
we've been
last
waiting
one.
for this collab, because it's just like, come on, man, we need you to get with the grades.
And back in the day, Leo was almost cast as the lead in Boogie Nights, so it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Whoa,
There
what do you
you
think?
go.
Yeah.
I don't
Marky
know.
Mark, not on anybody's list?
Who?
Mark Wahlberg?
No.
Wahlberger himself.
Absolutely not.
Wahlberger himself. All right, Leo, any last thoughts on Leo art?
I'm excited for his movie. I believe he should be nominated and win another one. I don't see how he
Yeah,
doesn't.
no. He
yeah.
won one
I-
for one he shouldn't have won one for.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
know?
So it's always the fact that becomes its own thing. That's its own talking
Right.
point, right? To make that an adjective of, oh, they had a Leo. They did him like Leo. They did, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too, is that like there are a lot of these actors who they get the whole it's their time thing, and we were talking about that with Leo for a long time. But Leo has given us multiple performances where it feels like he's earned it. I mean, I don't know why he didn't win
Yeah.
for Wolf of Wall Street.
No. Look, hey,
but you know-
Gilbert Grape is
Right.
stupid good.
Yeah.
Stupid
yeah, it
good.
is.
I don't know, dude. No, and Wolf of Wall Street too. I don't know if let me pull that up as you keep going, because that was another one where it's like, who do we
Who
bring up
won it
earlier?
that year?
Bradley. Yeah. No, Wolf of Wall Street was.
Is it- it's probably
was,
gonna be Daniel Day-Lewis
no,
again.
It was,
no,
Matthew McConaughey.
It's
It was McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
For
yeah.
Dallas.
Yes.
Which
I
is
still would've
tough,
given it
but
to
like
Leo. I still would've given it
I
to
still
Leo.
go Leo there.
I'm
You have to give it
but
to
on the
Leo
other hand,
there.
I'm like, if we want to take into account the person you're portraying in a movie, maybe I don't want anything related to Jordan Belfort having an Oscar. You know, like,
Yeah, he wouldn't
Another
shut
point.
up about that even then. Yeah.
that's my one area where I was like, buddy, why are you letting this guy be in your movie? And now he's still fucking people over. Like he didn't learn shit. Anyway.
Killers would be another one where
Yeah, Killers
obviously
would be one.
Oppenheimer for sure. I would argue it sometimes. I think his performance in the movie
Yeah.
is really freaking good.
Yeah.
Departed, all the classics, Titanic, Shutter Island, Inception.
Like
but
if we had done Killer Barbie, maybe it would be a different outcome. If that had been a double up.
Is Wolf of Wall Street everybody's favorite Leo performance here?
because
Because he is so good in The Departed also.
It's for me. It might be. I think it might be Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh, and yeah,
But
I
I-
mean that
I-
that might be my favorite Leo movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a combo. But I also really like him as Rick Dalton in Once Upon a Time. Like,
Yeah.
8 whiskey sours.
he's just good. He's just good.
He's just good. He deserves the
Memes,
hype.
he's
Yeah.
everything. I think his best is Aviator.
Yeah, he's
My favorite is Wolf of Wall Street. You're
the
not
way of the
wrong.
future. The way of the
I think my
future.
favorite
the
Way
way
of the
Catch Me If You
future,
Can.
bro. And Catch Me If You Can's a blast. He's so young in it too. You watch that movie, you see Amy Adams in it and everything. Yeah, no, that's such a
crazy.
moment in time.
Yeah.
No, all good ones.
Yeah.
All good ones. Gangs of New York too,
All right.
like Zach was mentioning. Revolutionary Road, bro.
yeah, Revolutionary Road.
My
That
brother
really
brings this
overlooked
one up
movie from his career.
Mm-hmm.
That's my brother's favorite is Titanic. And he believes Revolutionary Road is like the best
I love
two
that.
people on screen.
Yeah.
I love your brother.
I guess we should mention Kate Winslet too.
Yeah.
Shout out Kate Winslet.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
Kate Winslet is fantastic, but I feel like I don't even necessarily think about her in this capacity because I don't think she's interested
Right.
in it in being in this capacity. She's just
she's just integral to movies.
yeah, like her. I feel like Kirsten Dunst kind of has the same progression of just like I just doing things that are interesting to me. I just like movies.
Yeah.
They're not interested in really playing into this like rat race thing. Even though some of the people we're mentioning don't directly feel like they're going at it in a rat race way, they are specifically picking more.
They're still in
roles.
it. Yeah.
You know, but like Kate
Where they have
Winslet
to
just
play the
feels like
game.
she's doing her authentic thing, having a good time, enjoying her life, and doesn't have time
Totally.
to get caught into this kind of stuff. So
We
But
did a
she's fantastic.
2015 list, and she was in Steve Jobs. She plays the assistant.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Fantastic.
in it. And then on top of that, we were mentioning The Big Jump, and she would have been one of the ones who did The Big Jump with what's the HBO one?
Mayor
Oh,
of
yeah,
Easttown.
Mayor of
She also
Easttown.
did
She's
that
so good.
other one where she was like the leader of like a Eastern European country. I forget.
the regime.
The regime.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was good too.
What?
The regime.
Regine Dale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as good as
Not as
Mayor of
good.
Easttown.
Whoa.
You know,
But like that, she made the jump. We're hoping Leo doesn't.
I don't
Yeah.
think he
Hoping
will.
Leo
I actually
doesn't.
don't think he will. I really, really don't think
He
he'll-
doesn't.
He doesn't need
Seem
to,
to need
and he
to.
doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But if he
Unless
did, that
unless
check
it's
must
like
be
Scorsese.
crazy.
If Scorsese's like,
Yeah.
I'm making this gangster epic television show, I could see that. But
Right.
if it's not Scorsese, I do not see DiCaprio ever going to TV unless he somehow loses all of his money before he's dead and then has to.
Yeah. I mean, TV's a big commitment. It would leave him less time to
is.
spend with 25-year-old models.
It's
I'm
true.
about to say,
It is true.
does he make a TV series
Or less
first,
than 25, I guess.
or does he
Yeah.
date a 26-year-old? Which one is it going to be?
I know.
Shout out Labor Day for Kate
Shout
Winslet,
out
by the
Labor
way.
Day,
Shout
yeah.
out Labor Day.
Eternal Sunshine. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, no, she's good
Oof.
too.
she's
That's
an
a nice
all-timer. She's an
I still have to
all-timer.
watch Lee. I still have to watch Lee.
Leo, number 1 on my list.
Two
number
Leos.
1 on Art's list. so
Hey,
the
and we got to
boys
poke
Yeah.
Leo, bro. It was
I-
a God's choice, bro. It was God's
Wow,
plan.
Honestly,
yeah. It is fated.
Yeah, and he should be. There's, like I said, there's people that were on my list that I've kind of bumped down for different reasons. Leo, I just felt like somebody was going to have him. So I was going with a different pick. I'm going for one of the more up-and-coming actors who I feel like has done a great job with TV, but also specifically in movies. I'm going Anya Taylor-Joy. I can't
Very
think
cool.
of something with Anya Taylor-Joy that I have not really liked or loved. I recently went back through the Queen's Gambit. It is very good. I remember when she stepped down
peak
from
pandemic,
Nosferatu.
damn.
I was really depressed that she stepped down. Like,
Yeah.
Lily did an amazing job, and I do think that
Whoa,
Lily...
should have been Lily?
She was supposed to be Lily's character. And I do think that the way that Lily approaches the role is better for the character than I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy feels like such a badass that I don't know if she would have given the vulnerability in the same way as Lily, but still, it
Yeah.
would have been a great performance. But I
Was
can't
it for
think
Furiosa?
of... What?
I think
didn't
it was
do it
for the
'cause of Furiosa?
gorge.
Yeah, I think it was for the
unfortunately.
gorge. She had I think she had
The
one of her
apple
one
one?
for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I put her on this list, I totally forgot that was a thing that happened. God damn it. But before that, she's
That
Yeah.
she's gonna be
That was
she's
at home.
the little brief Dune, even the brief Dune thing, because you know it's gonna come. She's great in the menu.
yeah.
The Northman's fantastic. She's great in Last Night in Soho.
She's
she doesn't-
Furiosa.
She's Furiosa.
She's
Like,
like
she doesn't have a
Furiosa, yeah.
huge body of work currently, but like everything she's been in.
Does she pass
Does she pass what?
the Amanda Parents test? She should, right?
Yeah, because my mom's I watched Queen's Gambit with my mom.
Queen's Gambit, there you go.
There
So
we go.
she would know, they would know. Yeah, so I think they would have a better... I'm not saying that she's the best, but it's like if I saw that she was going to be in a movie, she's usually working with good directors. It's
she's-
usually a good script, and she always brings something great to the role. Even with
right.
something like Split, like she was really, really good all the way back
Split.
with Split.
Ooh.
You know, she does really good work with Eggers, so I'm excited to see more of that.
I think Anya is an actress who's been given a lot of parts that the parts themselves could be kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And she's made them a lot. She's
Absolutely.
made the most
Nah,
out
she is
of
an
those
actor.
roles.
Yeah.
Like the Queen's Gambit could be a much more forgettable show if it wasn't for her performance at the center of it all.
Yeah. They did a really good job with the Beth casting across the board there. So, but yeah, I think it's great. She was great in Emma.
Thoroughbreds.
The Austin. Oh, Thoroughbreds. Yeah,
Yeah.
Thoroughbreds.
Right?
Like she's
Damn.
been around, and she's like it's mostly because so many of the roles she's in are highlights. It might not be a huge body of work, but there's very
Yeah.
few stinkers, and even the stinkers, she kind of manages to come
Yeah.
out better.
But also leads, like in Split. She
Yeah.
is pretty much a lead.
She's pretty
Thoroughbred.
much a lead.
She's splitting, but she's a lead in it. Northman, all these different things. I feel like she always plays a big prominent role, so they're never
Yes.
like sidelining her.
Yeah, she's
And because
never
of that,
been sidelined. Yeah.
all of her stuff seems pretty big,
Yeah.
and I would say she's above the up and coming already. She is there. She
She's
is
there.
fully a candidate.
Oh, yeah.
as one
Yeah.
of the best ones there. Also,
Yeah.
like, not even honorary Latina. Yo, I saw a thread saying she was more Latina than like Selena Gomez.
She's
I heard
from
it out, like,
you
first
know,
of
she's
all.
from Argentina. She's from Argentina. I do like that they actually one year she won an award and she had to be like no, because she
Oh,
was
yeah,
like I might be from Argentina, but I'm clearly not like Hispanic. Like I'm not.
Yo, they've,
Right.
they've embraced her, bro. It is.
I know,
It,
but I
it's
do
a talking
appreciate
point.
that she was like, look, I get it. I'm from this area, but I'm also very
Yeah.
privileged from
Yeah.
this area.
Uh-huh.
She is
And
paler
that's
than me.
That's what makes her.
like-
Yeah, that's what makes her so freaking cool.
Yeah.
But no, she's mad talented.
Yeah,
Mad
so
talented.
so talented.
She's one of the ones where it's like it's gonna be really funny looking back at this one years from now and going, bro, she was barely there.
Yeah.
I don't even
Right.
know what she's gonna like. We're just looking at
That's-
Leo.
I know.
What is hers gonna look like?
Because she kind of
I
does a
feel
similar
we're-
thing. She doesn't do a lot, but what she does usually has an impact, especially for the last
Yeah.
handful of years. She's doing, other than, I guess, The Gorge.
But
But
this is-
Leo
yeah,
has a
other
couple
than
of
The
those
Gorge.
early on, too. He's got some stinkers,
Exactly.
you know?
So if we're barely at Leo's like early 2000s, Catch Me If You
Yeah,
Can,
it'll be
I
great.
can't imagine what the next 25 years are gonna be.
Yeah,
for her,
so that's why I put her here more for... I get that that's not the idea of this, but still, she's got high stock.
No. This is rightfully a great number one pick. New Mutants, bro. They did it dirty.
They did.
That could have been one. Now,
That's what I mean.
we all know the MCU.
It's probably good that it didn't take off, to be completely honest. For her sake, it's probably good that it didn't take off, because think of all the things she's done instead. That takes off, she doesn't do Queen's Gambit.
You had mentioned Emma, and I always remember when she was talking about how she freaking bled on command. Nosebleed.
Oh,
on
yeah,
command.
the nosebleed scene.
Yeah.
What?
I don't, like, that's what I mean. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, she's like, oh, everyone cries? Cool.
Yeah.
What can I do next? That's crazy.
I got to give an honorable mention. I forgot Toni Collette. We mentioned her kind of in passing before. She is an all-timer.
Again,
she's been doing a lot of
Winslet,
TV lately.
integral. Yeah.
She's been doing a lot of TV lately, but I don't think that takes away from the fact that she is like an
Mafia
all-timer.
mama.
And she's like respectful, because she'll literally, people be like, how did you get into blah, blah, blah to do this? And she's like, I acted, and knowing that like she's filming Hereditary, like having a full breakdown and then immediately being like, okay, time for lunch.
Yeah.
Because she realized early on that like you have to be able to separate yourself from that, and to get pulled in with method acting is stupid. I love that you have all these guys that need to be super overly sensitive and coddled and like walked around and pretending they don't have feet or whatever to get through their role. And Toni Collette's like, I can do all of this without that, because that's kind of our job.
Yeah, and those are the people who are going to have the longevity in it. Zach's the one who mentioned Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar vein where it's like, how are you getting to the headspace of like a guy with half a face and poor things going straight? Yeah. And it's because he's proficient in what he does, and he's able to go in and out of it. And those are usually the better actors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glenn Powell is another person I didn't want to bring up in the honorable mentions because I was stepping on people's toes.
He was the guy category.
I don't think I'd go out for him, but I'm never unhappy to see him.
He's on the rise.
He's on the rise.
Yeah, but not
sure.
quite at the level of Leonardo DiCaprio or Anya Taylor-Joy. Our selections at the top of our actor power ranking lists. Back in April 2020, Arturo, when we were doing our best movie stars under 30 bracket, we had Anya Taylor-Joy losing in the first round to John Boyega. So just to show you how much things can change in 5 years.
John Boyega, no offense. No shade to John Boyega.
They're both at different points in their career now than they were in 2020.
2016? Okay, to be fair, that was like
2020.
That was 2020? Oh, guys, you should have known by then.
Whoa. Don't say guys. Who did I vote for?
Well,
I don't remember.
The last time this was pulled up for Jake Gyllenhaal, and I wasn't the one who voted out Jake Gyllenhaal.
Somebody will have to go check the tape. I don't have the time for it. Let us know if you've checked the tape in the comments below. Let us know who are the tops of your actor power rankings. I'd love to see some top 10s. We got some awesome top 10s on our director video. So yeah, please comment with your thoughts, or send us a message on social, or send us an email, intercutpod@gmail.com. Maybe we'll bring it up in a later podcast recording. But I think that's about all for this week's show. You can catch more from me, Zach Shevich, by following me on Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd at ZShevich. That's ZSHEV as in Vin Diesel, not high on my power rankings, ICH. And check out my videos anywhere you find videos at Multiplex Show. Amanda, this video is coming out in June. Do you think you're most likely to do a video on Phoenician Scheme, Materialists, or Life of Chuck in June?
Ooh,
big month coming up in June.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot,
It's
honestly.
a massive month.
There's been a lot coming out. It's been cool. Very much looking forward to the Phoenician Scheme, but I would feel wrong doing a video on that when I never ended up getting an entire dedicated Asteroid City video out. Maybe I will sometime. Maybe when I'm just feeling like... Could do both at once, Yeah. A little bit like that.
Anderson,
I think The Materialist. That's kind of like, that's such a sweet spot for my channel, because we got Dakota Johnson, we've got a rom-com, but we've got Celine Song. We've got a
little bit of quality, a little bit of class.
I'm so interested to see what she has to say, in this, so kind of what feels maybe outside of what this is, but at the end of the day, I guess technically Past Lives is a romance movie. And I don't know, I'm very excited for The Materialist, so that one definitely is seemed prime, but Mike Flanagan's my guy, so we'll probably also get a Life of Chuck video out too, so let's see what happens.
Stuff to look forward to over on Amanda the Jedi's channel. Art, I don't know if we got you right now, or if you're still glitching a little bit. I couldn't find any ATZ or LME videos on how to train your dragon. Do you think you'll finally make one for the live action remake?
I think I did a review, but they're probably unlisted. When I had done like a Flicks thing. I'm gonna have to go through. They never did 3, right? It's 2 animated films.
I think they did 3. I could be wrong.
Did they do 3? I can't remember How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yeah, the sequels are all kind of a blur to me.
Yeah.
I only really. Yeah.
That, but it's Final Destination, bro. I have been going in on Final Destinations. I bought the Blu-ray pack that's got all the special features and stuff like that. Big Final Destination fan. Yeah. I couldn't make it to the screening that they had yesterday, so I get to finally see it today.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I've heard. Maybe I'm delusional, but I'm just.
I've seen good things. I've seen good things. Like I saw somebody.
I'm looking at
I saw some people that were like rating things like Drop a 2-star and other things like Death of a Unicorn a 1.5, and they gave this a 3.5 out of 5. So I was like, that seems promising.
I'm very excited for it. Those are my, if you want to call them, guilty pleasures, but I don't feel guilty while I'm watching them. So I am excited to see how they wrap or continue on the franchise.
Definitely. All right. You can listen to every episode of the Intercut podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, on whatever your favorite podcatcher is. I use Overcast. And then make sure you're subscribed not just to the audio podcast, but to the video feed on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/IntercutPod, where you can watch our powerful faces as we run through the latest in entertainment. Find new episodes of Intercut every Monday, and please leave us a comment, like the videos. Consider heading over to iTunes to give us that much requested 5-star review. Like our social media, all of them are at Intercut Pod. You can also support the podcast on YouTube or on Patreon through @Intercut Pod. And Patreon is a great place to sign up to get updates about the podcast in general, whether you're doing it for free or for $3 a month. You'll get updates throughout the week from Art, from Amanda, from me, from the guests that we feature here on Intercut. And also keep the conversation going by joining our Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description of this episode. Thanks again for tuning in. And until next time, there are no small parts, only actors that are meant for TikTok. Stanislavski said that.